यशोन यशोदनन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यशोदनन्दना यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुना जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा जय वं विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतस्म डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापतकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदां सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 29, entitled Talks Between Narada and King Prachina Barhi, Sloka number 53. Shudram charam sumanasam sarane mititva raktam shadangri gana samamasulabdaknam agre urkan agre urkana sutrupo vigannaya vrtyantam पृष्ठे मृगान् मृगय्य लुब्धकबाणभिन्नम् क्षुद्रं चरणं सुमनसं क्षुद्रं शरणं सुमनसं शरणेमिति त्वा रक्तं षडङ्ग्रीगणसामसु लुब्धकर्णम् अग्रे विकार्णासुतृप विगन्नय्या यान्तम् पृष्ठे मृगन्मृगयलुब्धकबाणभिन्नम् क्षुद्रं चरं सुमनसं शरणेमिति त्वा रक्तं षडाङ्ग्रिगण स्वामसुलब्धकर्णम् अग्रे वृकानासुतृपो विगनय्या यान्तम् पृष्ठे मृगं मृगयलुब्धकबाणभिन्नम् Ram saranam samasam saranemi titva raktam shadangrisgana samasulabh agre vinaya sutrupo viganaya pushte mrugam mrugayalabh shudram charam chavanasam saranemi titva raktam shadangrisgana agre vrukan asutrupo pushte mrugam mrugayalabh Uddam dharamasa sarane mititva raktam sadangri ganasama sulubdha karnam agre urkana sutrupo viganaya bhantam srishte mriga mrigaya labdhavana binnam Matajis Shudram charam samanasam sarane mititva raktam sadangri ganasama sulubdha karnam agre urkana sutrupo viganaya bhantam te mrugan mrugaya labdha Shudram on grass, charam grazing, sumanasam of a beautiful flower garden, sarane under the protection, mititva being united with a woman, raktam attached, shat angry of bumblebees, gana of groups, samasu to the singing, lubda karanam whose ear is attracted, agre in front, urkan tigers, asutrupha who live at the cost of another's life, avigannaya neglected, yantam moving, prushte behind, mrugam the deer, mrugaya search out, lubdaka of a hunter, bana by arrows, binnam liable to be pierced. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki translation. My dear King, please search out the deer who is engaged in eating grass in a very nice flower garden along with his wife. That deer is very much attached to his business and he is enjoying the sweet singing of bumblebees in his garden. Just try to understand his position. He is unaware that before him is a tiger which is accustomed to living at the cost of another's flesh. Behind the deer is a hunter who is threatening to pierce him with sharp arrows. Thus, the deer's death is imminent. Purport. Here is an allegory in which the king is advised to find a deer that is always in a dangerous position. Although threatened from all sides, The deer simply eats grass in a nice flower garden, unaware of danger all around him. All living entities, especially human beings, think themselves very happy in the midst of families, as if living in a flower garden and hearing the sweet humming of bumblebees. Everyone is centered around his wife, who is the beauty of family life. The bumblebee's humming may be compared to the talk of children. The human being, just like the deer, enjoys his family without knowing that before him is a factor of time, which is represented by the tiger. The fruitive activities of a living entity simply create another dangerous position and oblige him to accept different types of bodies. For a deer to run after a mirage of water in the desert is not unusual. The deer also very fond of sex. The conclusion is that one who lives like a deer will be killed in due course of time. Vedic literatures therefore advise that we should understand our constitutional position and take to devotional service before death comes. According to Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 9th chapter, 29th sloka, Lubda Sudharlabham idam bahusambhavante Manusham hardam anityam apiha dhiraha Trinam yatheta na patet anumrutyu yavanam nisreyasaya vishya khalu sarvata syat. After many births, we have attained this human form. Therefore, before death comes, we should engage ourselves in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. That is the fulfillment of human life. Hare Krishna. I seek the blessings of His grace on my Prabhu to speak some words for my purification. Seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is my first Bhagavatam class. Generally, I don't give Bhagavatam because I know I can't speak on Bhagavatam, but it was harder. So I never gave class. So seeking all the blessings. So here, Narad Muni, the dynamic preacher, he knows how to preach as per the time, place, circumstances. So he's preaching to Prachina Barhi with allegories, not like directly puzzles he is giving. So he is telling that generally deers are very fond of roaming in the gardens. Garden contains different flowers with different flavors. So our life is also like that. Because here we are compared with the deer. Prabhupada compared us with the deer. So we have different flowers with the different flowers. Our flowers are 4 varnas, 4 ashramas. Right? We have different flowers. In that we have different flowers. Depends on our ashram. For brahmacharis, the counsels are the flowers. For grahastas, the children and wife, husband, they are the flowers. Vanaprastha, sannyasi, they have different flowers. which they get attracted to. But the thing is, we don't realize that we are all, most of the times, we are so busy in taking care of those things, in that we forget what is our pathetic situation. So when I was working in GV, we have construction was happening. Basically, what I'm talking about, that instead was that we're making drainage system. So at the bottom we made a slab, concrete one. Then we put this gunny bags to cure that one. Then next day we came and we removing that gunny bags one after one. So I removed one. There was a frog, small frog was there. So it was running and it saw me, and just then I started like this and running. So I thought chasing it. After some time it went, and a big boulder was there. Underneath it went. It's safe. It was thinking it was safe. But if I want to kill it, just I need to move that boulder. That's all, right? It will become chutney. So this is our situation. We are thinking our life is safe with different ways, like insurances or our assets or our family members or our whatever income. But there is a person, the tiger here, Kala, is looking at like how the frog is thinking that I'm safe, but I know what to do that. If I want to save, I can save it. Otherwise, I want to kill, I can kill it. Time is watching us from the top, but we are not realizing it. We are so engrossed in accumulating the security systems, which are of no use. Even if you realize, if you think peacefully, and if you sit and think peacefully, we realize that all our security systems are useless. Health insurance, yes, when it helps us after we get sick, but it cannot avoid the sickness. What security do we have? After we getting sick only, it can help somewhat financially, but can it avoid the sickness? Any insurance, you make building property insurances, but after damaging only, but can they avoid the damage? No. We can't avoid a single calamity in our life. But we are unnecessarily, after that anyone can come. If house is on fire, after that many people will come and put some water. There is no problem. Further, we don't need insurance also. But the real insurance is if something can avoid it beforehand, before coming. That is the real insurance. But we are forgetting that insurance. But we are after these insurances which gave us some solace, like after burning our hand, like it's like saying that slap on and slap, after slapping saying sorry. Okay sir, kuch to bola hai. But that is not the, that's not enough. No. So he agreed his mistake, but that's not enough. So that kind of social securities or securities are not useful for our life. So that's why here he is saying that Prachin Maharaj is thinking like his life is insecure because his children are becoming sadhus. But he is not realizing that even if they do not become, it doesn't make any difference in his life. No. If our death is certain date is already decided. Whether our children becomes engineers or doctors or beggars, it doesn't make any difference. We have to die at that time when the time comes. Whether we have property or we lose our property, it doesn't make any difference. Whenever the sickness has to come, it will come. Whenever death has to come, it will come. But unnecessarily, we are endeavoring for the temporary things which we are not, supposed to be endeavor. So that is that only if he tells to Prachin Barhi the same sentences, he may not realize it. So that's why he's putting in a different way. Story form. He's telling some story so that he forgot the angry. He's already is the pain and all. So he forgot that and think. So that's why he's very dynamic preacher, because he knows how to get attention of the person. For Dhruva, what he did not say that. First he tell, go back home. Dhruva was very angry. Okay, thank you for your kind words. You go back home. He said, because that way he got the attention of Dhruva. So then he could speak something. So, but that is a preaching technique. That is a different thing we have to do. So here, so this kind of words we repeatedly hear in Bhagavatam. No. Even Prahalad, he also speaks about the same thing. When he is teaching to schoolmates. But I was really surprised. How can he speak so detailedly about the family life? He is just a 5 years old boy. The words I was like, that's why I wrote as it is, because so like really, how can a person who is more affectionate to his family, the core of his heart, being always filled with their pictures, heart may, can give up their association? Because the person who is affectionate to his family, he always thinks of his family members wherever he goes. So that's why we see many people put their family members' photos in these palettes. In that, who is very dear to them, that photo comes first. So that one. But for a boy of 5-year-old, for him doesn't matter. But he's speaking about that so particularly. No, so even we don't observe many times like that. But his observation, because of association with Narada. That is it. So specifically, a wife is always very kind and sympathetic, and always pleases her husband in a solitary place. Who could give up the association of such a dear and affectionate wife? So many times we might question that, and why they always addressing male only. It could be the other way also, no? Why not? Because if you understand why, when it was written, this Bhagavatam, it was 5,000 years ago. That time the society was like that. Women were completely submissive to their husband. So that's why there is no need to do japa and all. Now they are independent. That's why they have to independently do the japa. They have to, how male has to struggle, female also has to struggle for the advancement, because that submissiveness is gone. If you find a submissive wife, she no need to do japa. But that is very difficult. So that's why it was this way, because wife's advancement is guaranteed, depends upon advancement of husband. So that's why husband has to be advanced. So that's it's all, most of the scriptures are addressing only male. But this nowadays the Prabhupada also says it's the other way. You have to, for a male, you have to think of female. For the female, think of male, like that. Wherever it is, it's applicable for both. It's not unisex now. It is bisexual for both sides. So statement may be unisexual, but meaning is bisexual. You have to understand. So now how can you? So similarly, this same wife. How can a wife who is getting pleased by her husband can give up? That's difficult. No. Small children talk in broken language, very pleasing to hear, and their affectionate father always thinks of their sweet words. How could you give up their association? Many times, at least because we don't have that affection for children, because we are not fathers. So see, many times, many parents, if that child tells something, they correlate with some word, and oh, my son said Prabhupada, my son said Krishna, we can't have some many times. Is it really Krishna? What is telling? But that is their, because the affection, love they have, they want to see their child in a particular way, so they project it. So these kind of things, and that's why they are busy in their projections and their speculations and in their dreams and all these things. Similarly, we are also, everyone, like as I said, brahmacharis also, we are busy in our dreams, preaching, how to preach, how to counsel that boy, how to make him devotee. But in that we forget what is our situation, where are we? That we forget. So same thing that comes, in Hiranyakashipu's episode. Hiranyakashipu was telling the story. He is consoling his mother, and he tells a story, nice story. He's busy in consoling his nephews and mother, sister-in-law and all. But he is not recognizing what his condition was. He was in the same situation what he's telling. But he never realizing. He's busy in consoling and conquering and this, that, but he's not realizing, what he spoke was exactly applicable to him. But he never paid attention on that. Many times we don't pay attention on what is our, things. We are trying to save others, but we don't realize that, the base underneath us is shaking, but we don't realize. We are preaching 50, 60. We don't know when we'll go, but still we are in that mood of preaching only, but we don't realize that now I need to strengthen my base. I need to. So there should be a balance. Radha Gopala Prabhu says, well is there. If the well can provide water, how much it can accumulate. If it allows people to, take out the water, so it will dry out and it will become useless. So it has to know what is its limitation. If unnecessarily, if what is not taken out also is stagnant and stinking and it useless water. But well also does not become useful. So both we have need. We have to give at the same time. We have to allow the mercy flow in also. So if you don't have that, you know, uh, time to get the mercy from others, then we drain out some very soon. So we are, that's this deer is busy in grazing this flower, that flower, this flower, that flower, but it's not seeing what is behind around it. So many times we are also observed. One Mataji, just Kamagiri Mataji, Prabhupada disciple, she was sharing with me. She was very dynamic preacher. She was very aggressive. Prabhupada preach, Prabhupada moment, I need to expand. And she told that she was so aggressive, she doesn't care anyone. If you are cooperating with me, come, get lost. I don't care. I don't. No one can stop me. That was the situation. So like that, she did. And she was young. She could not care anyone. But after 45, she could not able to do. But by that time, she lost everyone. No one was ready to come to her. So she was telling that, and she was going and begging people, I offended, please forgive me, this one, that. No one was ready. And she was calling, I did a big mistake. Don't do this mistake in our life. Because when we are active, we are in, this one, we don't see anything. But time comes, time changes everything. There is a story. How many of you know that Akbar and Birbal story? So Akbar asks one time, what God does? So Birbal says some answer. But Akbar was not convinced. No, I'm not. Then Birbal refers so many scriptures. He tells so many statements. God does this. Akbar was not convinced. Then Birbal started calling different pandits, scholars. They are all telling their own versions. Then different religious people. No. Then he told Akbar, told, you find out answer it in a month. I don't know what you do. Birbal was have a very anxiety. He goes to going around. He found one kind of sadhu kind of thing. He went and asked that person, you know what? What God does? Why? No. Why you want to know? No, I don't want to know. My king wants to know. So tell me what. Ask him to come and ask me. So Birbal goes and tells Akbar, I got the answer. Really? What is the answer? But you have to go and ask there. No, I can't go. Yeah, bring him. Whatever, at any cost, I don't mind, but bring him here. So they somehow they got him to the king, this palace. And then he tells that he knows who king is there, but he asks, who was the answer? So where was my king? Oh, king. You ask, what is your question? So he asks, what God does? No, not from there. Come down and ask. So he comes down and asks, what God does? You put me there, then I will tell answer. So where Akbar puts this person on the Simhasan and tells that, then now what is your question? What God does? God does this only. The people who are on top brings them down. The people who are on down. So time changes everything. Can't be same anytime. Hiranyakashipu was once upon a time he was the conqueror of the 3 worlds. Where is he now? So this was the statement Prabhupada used to convince Amrish Prabhu. And Amrish Prabhu first time came, they introduced, he is the grandson of Henry Ford. Oh, where is the Henry Ford now? He was shocked. So, because he is intelligent, he grasped that statement. So, we can't. So, that's why he was convincing the parents, his mother and nephews and all, but he is not realizing what he was speaking about. Many times that was our precarious condition. Many times we read Bhagavatam or any scripture just to give a class, but we never take shelter of that scripture. That is the problem. That's why as long as we don't take shelter, the scripture never revealed to us. So many times that's why many people have. I have one Mataji, she read Bhagavatam 3 times, Chaitanya Charitamrita 4 times. I was saying, oh, she has real taste. And some incident happened in their home. She was cursing left, right, and telling that, and she called me and told that, I told her daughter married with some devotee only. But she doesn't like that one, whatever reason. And she told that, and I am praying the Lord that my daughter will become widow. I said, and in that anger, I was reading Bhagavatam. She was telling. So already you done 3 times, 4th time reading Bhagavatam. What was what did you learn? That's many times we read for completing, for telling purpose. But we never really take shelter of the scripture. That is the problem. So holy name also same thing. We are mostly bothered about completing the 16 rounds, but we never bother about taking shelter of the holy name. We will make up also. We fix up time, 7 o'clock. I need to finish. If 1 minute later, then we next round we have to take our speed, increase the speed. We try to adjust. This is our mentality. Where is the shelter? Where is the surrender mood? We don't have that. Somehow we brought that conditioning mentality of outside world into spiritual practices. Because of that conditioned nature only we are here. But unless we transform that conditioned nature into good thing, we can't go back to Godhead. That we never realize. We are always in a missionary mode of completing even devotional life also. As there is a that barricade or something that finishing line is there like that. There is devotional life, there is no finishing line. We don't realize it. It's eternal. And for what we are rushing out, we don't know. We are always rushing out. We have to complete this one, so my rounds, then Bhagavatam class, that. Finishing, we are rushing out so much. But there is no deadline, Finishing line is not there. Devotional life means even after going back to Godhead also we have to chant our rounds. We have to have Bhagavatam class. There also we have to do same. So Prabhupada said that whatever we are doing in ISKCON has to be done eternally. There also we have to get up for Mangalarti. Okay, we don't sleep there, that is a different thing. Because there is no night. No, we're always in bliss. But there also we have to do same things. So why we are in so hurry in finishing things? Not realizing what is behind us, what is in front of us. Behind is the hunter. What is that hunter? Is telling that the karma. Karma is behind us. It is shooting us to some another body. Where we go, we don't know which body we get. That hunter, where he shoots his arrow, we don't know. Any part can get hurt. So we are not realizing our actions, what kind of karma creating. So even at the level of Bharat Maharaj, who is Mahabhagavat, could not escape from karma, right? Because he attached to one deer. Deers are very famous. So at that level also he could not able to escape the karma. His activities led to something else. He was also shot by a hunter of karma and took another birth. So similarly, in our life we are dealing with many people, but we never pay attention what we are doing, how we are dealing. What is the result of that? But every action is creating one kind of karma for us. It doesn't matter whether we are devotee or non-devotee. Devotee doesn't mean that it gives liberty. Still our dealings should be very good. So we should be very careful. We have to pay attention more on that than our plans and all these things. So that's why he's telling that find that person and imagine, understand, just try to understand his position. By understanding his position means understand our position. The deer is we. We have to understand our position. What we are doing. We are in the same position. We are not realizing what's behind, and we are not realizing tiger is waiting, death is waiting for us in front. We are not realizing that also. Both sides we are checked. We cannot go ahead. So we are like in a precarious condition, but we, so that's why the solace is only Bhagavatam, hearing and associating with the devotees. Otherwise, we cannot escape from this, the hunter and tiger and the neighbors of the family attachments. So in all sides we are attached, we are checked. Front, back, sides we have near and dear. So we are always tied. So when we take shelter of Bhagavatam nicely, our scriptures nicely, that gives. So that's why Narada Muni tells Vyasadeva, to write Bhagavatam. In that he tells very directly, Anardhopasamanam Sakshat. Anardha Supasamanam Sakshat. Directly it upasamans. What is Bhakti Yoga Adokshaja? The Bhakti Yoga have to Adokshaja. Krishna, Lord Krishna. But that is fine. That national. Lokasya ajanato. Lokasya. People do not know. Not realizing it. Is Bhagavat, no, that the Bhakti Yoga can give directly upsamana, relief from these miseries of material existence. but people are not realizing it. So that's why it is Vidwan, oh Vidwan, oh most scholarly, oh most learned one. You know, Chakre. Chakre means compiler, write down. Chakre Satvata. Satvata Samhitam. Samhita means compilation, group of Vedic slokas. You know, you write down. That's the inspiration for Vyasdev to write Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam was written by Vyasdev. Already it was written. It's not that it's the first time writing. He wrote already Bhagavatam. But later on, after this, he edits it. He edits and it comes this form. So in that, the editing was done so pakka because he does meditation and he's seeing whatever he saw, he wrote. So that's why it's completely authentic and no speculation, no any loose speculations. See, now there is a statement in America: people only travel in cars, no buses and all. I heard that. That is a different thing. But the person who goes and comes back from America, he tells, there everyone has car. It's very natural, it comes for him because he saw it. And it has so much effect on the opposite person because it speaks very naturally. That's why it's a natural commentation for Vasudeva, because he saw all the meditation, he saw everything. If you see that chapter, he saw the Maya Devi, he saw the three energies, he saw all the avatars, he saw all the expansions, everything he is seeing. Whatever he saw, he is writing that. So it's like first-hand information, not like from second-hand, hearing from someone, and or implies that's why it implies this. No, not like that. It's direct. So if we have that first-hand information, and if you take shelter of that, because there the idea behind it is transformation, to make us transform. That's why he compelled. And we also have that same intention, and it aligns, and really transformation takes place. If you don't have that, then it's mismatch. It's mismatch. So scriptures we should approach for our transformation. We have to read them for shelter, for surrender. Then Bhagavatam reveals us the Lord. So otherwise, it's just reading another book, completing another chapter. So here, when just try to understand this is position, this is itself is enough. That statement, if you understand it, that position is our position. We never try to understand our position. If you understand it, we become very aware of, we become alert. So I'm sorry what I spoke, I don't know. Yes, Bhagavad is something I'm afraid of to speak on. Hare Krishna. Anyone has any comments or corrections? Rosie. Any questions?
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for a very wonderful class. You are speaking about how our life goes by trying to meet, completing things, trying to meet a imaginary, line,
Deadlines.
deadline. It is not there only, but still we are trying to meet it, by trying to complete our chanting, reading, hearing, everything. So I often think actually why this is happening. First of all, is it because we are living in corporate world, which is sitting around? Is that influence is coming into our lives, or if it is that, how we can avoid that?
Yes, we have the time, place, circumstances influence us, but more than that, we are not convinced what we are doing. There is Gyan Vigyan. We have Gyan, but we never, like parrot. Parrot might speak Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. It doesn't know what it means. So our situation was like that. Many times we know, but we never realize it, what it means. Even I'm speaking nicely. When I get down, I'm also like that only because it's only for speaking purpose. We know that death comes anytime, but how many of us really mean it? We are never. So it's not Vigyan, it's a little Gyan. So one time, okay, I don't know whether I can take. Okay. Oh, my Guru Maharaj and Param Puja, Rananath Swami Maharaj, he was in Chicago at his home. He has one big van, minivan, like ambulance type. It is father's one. Whenever he goes there, he travels in that only. He was taking that car out and for driving. Then some few people went to bring Maharaj to from that his home to some temple or something. They told Maharaj, why you are driving? We are there. We drive. He said, no, no, this is different, an old one. You know, you people are not used to. No, no, Prabhuji, Maharaj, I'm expert on game. I drove big, trucks also, no problem. So then they insisted Maharaj. So Maharaj came, sat next to the driver's seat, and that Prabhuji went, and he was bringing back that car from the shed to there. They were just about to one car was dashing. Then no, I know. He said I saw it. He said, you know. Then he was driving. Then about to make a big accident. Just somehow it was. So Maharaj was like, he didn't speak any single word, just chanting. And this guy was like, Maharaj, you might shout. Maharaj is not saying, if Maharaj shouts, then there's no problem. Now shouting means it's a big thing. Why Maharaj is not shouting? Why Maharaj is not shouting? Why Maharaj is not shouting? Then he could not able to tolerate. Then he stopped the car. Maharaj, why are you not shouting? I did make mistake. Okay? Then Maharaj said, in that situation, do you want me to chant or do you want me to shout? If accident is happening, what we should do? But our situation is like different. They realized, so they are serious. That's why. That's why they are serious. They know what they're doing. We have knowledge, but we don't have that vigyan, realization. So that's why we are still that of shouting, fighting this mood. And if you are me, idiot, don't you see that? We shout, but on that time we gone. Idiot, next idiot will take but as idiot. you know, we don't realize that. So that's realization, because that has to, we have to see through that judge. That we have to develop that tendency. That's why, by associating with that kind of devotees, we slowly develop that. That's what they. So that association brings that more. Right. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंद।